Louie Gohmert was at a hearing with the FCC, and unsurprisingly, he got the issue of net neutrality 100% backwards.
And I heard you just say Congress asked us to look at the rules. What from Congress asked the FCC to look at rules regarding the Internet?
The 1996 Telecommunications Act.
Oh, so it was recent. That was 19 years ago. You seized on that to say Congress was asking you to look at the Internet 19 years later. Well, I would submit to you that something in 1996 had nothing to do with wanting you to take charge of the Internet. And I would also thank you for your willingness to leave some room for exploratory business models and new business models. That's really so gracious of you, because before the FCC stepped in, everybody was able to explore new business models. The only difference is now you're playing God with the Internet, saying, I will decide. We'll leave some room for you to come up with new business models. That's not your job. The court said that in January 2014, and you can change the wording around, but it doesn't change the facts. And Congress is not asking you, was not asking you to take over the Internet. So I want to make that clear. You find something in the last 4 years where Congress has passed it by elected officials of this country and said, please take over the Internet, then that would be good evidence before this committee. But until that happens, some of us, most of us in the House and most of us in the Senate do not want you to decide who gets to develop a new business model and who cannot. And I yield back my time.
Well, then mission accomplished, because they're not doing that. They're not doing that at all. You just think they're doing that because you're not smart. You have no idea what's actually going on with this. Okay, I got really frustrated during that and really angry during that because, I mean, imagine you're that poor FCC guy who's just doing your goddamn job, and this dumbass, low IQ clown of a human being starts yelling at you, and he's berating to you, and he's condescending, and he has no idea what the fuck he's talking about, but he gets animated, and he's arrogant, and he's obnoxious. Oh, God, if I was that guy, I would have taken all the restraint that I had to not blown up and yelled back at twice the decibel level. Who do you think you are, Louie? Louie, you don't know what you're talking about. He just yelled at a guy from the FCC for doing his job. See, in Louie Gohmert's mind, he thinks, before the Internet was free and open, but now the FCC's taking over. Now they're determining whose business succeeds. But that's not true. The FCC hasn't taken over the Internet, and they're not choosing anything with what businesses succeed and don't succeed and what websites work and don't work. If your side won, if you had your way, that would have been the result. And then this dumbass, I bet he really believes that, you know, it was his idea that would have led to a more open Internet, a more free Internet. But you have it backwards. What the FCC did was keep the Internet exactly as it is right now, free and open. If your side won, what would have happened? The Internet service providers would have been able to control the speed of all the different websites. So what the Internet service providers would have done, whether it's Comcast or Verizon, they go to every single website and they're like, hey, so here's the deal. We can give you our fast lane, or we could just put you in a much slower lane, but it's up to you. If you want to go in our fast lane, you have to pay us X amount of money every single month, and then we'll make sure people can see your website. But if you don't pay that, then it might take them a little too long for that web page to load. We'll slow down the speed, and your business might crash and burn. It may fail because of how we're fucking with it, because of how we're extorting you, how we're blackmailing you, how we're fucking over your entire process here by getting in the middle and taking money from you. So if he won, if his side won, that would have been the result. Everything he's afraid of the FCC doing, that's what the Internet service providers would have done if he won. But since our side won in this debate, what the FCC did is they stepped in and said, internet service providers, know your role. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to do the exact same thing that you're doing right now, and you're going to do it by law. Every single website, same speed. You can't, take money from people to speed some up and slow some down. That flies in the face of a free and open internet. So, look, the thing about Louie Gohmert, man, he's just too stupid for that job.